AITA for telling my dad that he treats me like a roommate, not his kid? My 17M parents have been divorced since I was 5. It was a very nasty divorce. Since she moved about 4 years ago into the city, I've been living weeks with my dad and every other weekend with my mom. My dad's wife, we'll call her Anne, and my dad have been together since I was 8. My dad likes to comment very often about my financial burden on his family. He has quite literally used those exact words, continuing to call me a heavy burden on him. With the added family member, Anne, and my father's baby boy, now 1, who I love and adore and enjoy taking care of, the cost obviously went up. Last summer, a week before break and 2 days before my first day of work, my father started demanding I leave to go to my mom's for the entire summer break with no visits with him until the week before the start of school. I told him this wasn't an option as I had a job I had been hired for and could not just leave. He demanded I try to find a job. I did submit my resume that weekend but wasn't able to find anything last minute. This made him furious. This ended up with me having to spend my morning and days off of work, 40-hour a week, to save for college, doing chores for him to pay off my summer there, which he referred to as paying my bills and playing a role in the family. At one point he told me that as long as I wasn't 18 I was not free to make my own decisions and that I was under his control. At some point I began buying all my own food. I now pay for my essentials like deodorant, food, cellular data, toothpaste, clothes, school supplies, and anything else I need. My club, sport, car insurance, and school lunch fees are paid for fully by my mom. Now I work throughout the school year. My dad never asked for me to do this, but I felt very much pressured to do so, and my life has significantly less conflict now. I don't get screamed at, and I got him to stop talking about how my mom never pays child support, with his permission, and that she's a horrible mother who can't manage her finances. For me, I feel very excluded from their family, but I don't necessarily feel like it's their fault. It's natural for me, who is at a very different point in life than them, to feel othered from new parents with a baby. Also, to be clear, I do not mind doing chores in the slightest. It was mostly the way he went about it that bothered me. I guess this is where I feel really unsure. Last week my dad and I got into a discussion about who had taken out the recycling, which included more of him screaming and me setting boundaries of apologizing but also calmly saying that I communicated the best that I felt I could about offering to take it out before being refused. At one point, I just said I'm leaving. He said, "Fuck off then, fucking leave, get out of my house." I did my best to keep my cool and just said, "You treat me like your roommate, not your child, and you haven't for a long time." AITA? Was I overreacting? Is he treating me like a roommate?